Hello, hello, hello. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of TA Tech Unboxed. In each episode, we're chatting to the people behind the products that the TA and HR community use every day. If you're not watching this on YouTube, at the end of each show, we ask the guests to unbox their product on a live demo. So if you're listening to this on Spotify, we'll put a link in the description. If you're on YouTube right now, please don't hesitate to check it out. I'm Chris Haslam, and I'm here with my co-host, Mr. Darren Bush. Mr. Darren Bush, how are you?
Hi, Chris Haslam. I'm good, thanks. Yeah, very well.
Pardon? I'm getting good at that.
I've been good. I've been interviewing a lot today in the last 2-3 days, just like 4 interviews a day, and it's tiring. For our Go Beyond program that we've launched for our next gen.
Right. So
I'm sitting as the lead panel doing the interviews, and it's tough. I think a lot of the stuff we've learned from Michael around access, I've applied a lot of some of the things that Buyers does a lot of training, but it's hard going especially when it's back to back.
Yeah, tough, man. I mean, like we've got some screeners here that will take 5 to 10 a day. Imagine what.
Amazing.
Yeah. They're a bit shorter, I guess. They're a bit shorter. You're actually technical interviewing, aren't you? A bit like process, so they're longer sessions, of course. But
yeah,
I know it's hard graft interviewing. Remember with Michael, like you said, he's a pro. 10,000.
He is. I know. I honestly, I don't know how he did it. And it's so difficult not to do compare as well about the comparison side. I can't help it. It's just natural.
Yeah. That's a good question. Which Beatle, if there was a Beatle to name Michael Blakely after, would you say he was?
John Lennon.
Oh, straight away.
Yeah.
Straight away. Maverick.
Yeah. Right. He's got to be. He's that creative, you know?
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. You went straight in. You didn't even hesitate. Michael and John Lennon. You're the John Lennon interviewing. And who do we have on today's show?
In today's show, Chris, we've got Ben Kaminsky, founder and CEO of Eva.ai, a platform that gives superpowers to TA and TM enterprise teams with conversational AI and predictive machine learning. Eva.ai is unique in the tech market as it connects to existing HR tech, engages in a personalized way with candidates and employees, recommends jobs, and nudges the organization towards effective workforce planning. Welcome to the show, Ben.
Thank you very much for having me.
Welcome. So, Ben, we start every show with a little bit about you and what brought you into pre-Eva days. Tell us a little bit about your background, your experience before you came into your mission, which is incredible. We're gonna unpack that over the rest of the show. Give us a little glimpse of Ben pre-Eva.
Super. Well, hi everyone. As you can hear from my accent, I'm French, originally from Paris. Have lived in London for 15 years. Since COVID, enjoying a true nomad life. My background, actually, I've studied innovation and change in organizations. I started my career in business intelligence and semantic technologies. So that's the pre-conversational AI era. In an international media consulting group, we were leveraging these technologies to analyze reputation, both in the print media and online media for large organizations. So our clients I worked for instance, were Volkswagen, Adidas, McDonald's, SAP, and also public organizations such as the European Commission. How did I get into TA and HR? Well, all roads lead to Rome. I must say, it just happened. After the media consulting group, I had a vision a decade ago. I wanted to create an artificial intelligence, so an AI that would be conversational AI. Sorry for my would be conversational AI. So for the non-tech savvy robot, you can talk to, and he would answer. And the AI would help job seekers and hiring managers finding a suitable match. And the long-term idea was that the AI could balance in a given job market the supply and demand of skills. And this is what we are doing today, a decade after at Eva.ai.
I mean, we did the intro there, and you've just kind of touched on it. It'd be good to sort of unpack a little bit about Eva.ai, because we go on the website, it's 4.0. Can you just kind of explain from a TA leader's point of view, where do you start and where do you end?
That's an excellent question. So we are claiming and actually delivering on providing superpowers with the help of Industry 4.0. So we are living the fourth industrial revolution today with the help of AI, big data, yada, yada, yada. And we are leveraging at Eva all those technologies to deliver on productivity and on providing amazing experiences, not only to the talent, but also to all the participants in the recruitment or human capital management workflows at large. So where does it start? Where does it end? So, I mean, we built Eva originally to help staffing firms to be more productive and give a better experience to their candidates and clients. Now, following COVID and having starting to work with the United Nations, specifically the development program of the United Nations, we are now really focusing on large public and private organizations. And the reason why I'm saying that is because we started with the recruitment, so from application to job placement or hire. But now with the evolution of our technology and with our new with the new use cases in large enterprises, we are doing actually from hire to retire. So the AI really helps in engaging not only candidates to get them the best jobs, but also the employees to move internally, so internal mobility, for promotion and succession, for rotation, and all of that with conversational AI and conversational AI, Eva engaging and nurturing talents, and the predictive engine, which is recommending the best jobs and missions to the talent. And the idea is to nudge the organization toward the leadership's workforce plan. Oof.
Yeah, it is. You're doing pretty much everything, which is great. So you just to check your talent acquisition, so everything from the application side, matching, sourcing, and then in terms of the actual placement side, and then you've got a talent management module as well, from the sounds of it, where you're looking at again the internal matching and everything from managing that employee all the way through to the retire stage.
Exactly.
Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
You're going to replace the entire talent and HR stack, Ben.
Well, the cool thing is that we have built our platform it's a modular platform. It comes pre-configured with the workflow automation that we have already built, but you can configure it exactly the way, as sophisticated as the enterprise needs, to sit on top of existing HR tech stack. So we are not here to replace. We are here to complement and to add a layer of artificial intelligence on top of reliable HR tech stack. So ATS, HRIS, CRM. So we synchronize and then we fasten, we improve the productivity, we save time in companies' money. We need that, and we improve the experience of the people inside. So that's our goal.
Yeah. And when you started Eva.ai, what were the problems that you noticed that within TA and TM that you wanted to fix?
Well, we built the conversational AI really to take care of the experience of candidates and employees. So we found out that, it's not we found out. There is a lack of communication, clear. Many candidates report feeling left in the dark, or after applying, that there is poor candidate experience. There are lengthy application processes. The applications are inconsistent. There are no standardized protocol. There is a lack of transparency, and usually we need to respect their candidates' time and to get them relevant jobs, and so that's the idea. So we were really wanted with the conversational AI and the predictive recommendation engine to tackle this problem from the inside our talent portal. Now, when we have started to build on the recruiters and the hiring managers portal side of things, what we really want to do is providing more productivity, optimizing the processes, and hence saving money, right? Time is money, and the platform, which is modular, allows to build sophisticated recruitment process automation. So think about workflows, actually robotic process automation that can be also for recruitment. But the workflows that you can build with Eva allows a multitude of user groups to be part of the same workflows, and it's powered by a recommendation. So think about a predictive machine that learns from the data it ingests and start recommending the best job and missions to the right talent, and vice versa, recommend the best candidates and employees for the TA, TM, and hiring managers. That's the whole idea, the problems that we are solving.
What was the big founding moment? Like, when you were sitting there thinking, like, oh God, this is a problem, and started to actually commit time and money to the process of building Eva? What was that?
Well, to be frank, the idea was born when after my master's of my MBA, I wanted to find a job, and long story short, I sent 25 resumes in France, 5 in UK, and I received 5 negative answers in France. The others, no answers. And I got 3 interviews and 2 job offers in the UK. So obviously I say, ciao Paris, welcome to London. But this is at the moment where I realized that there was something to do in the candidate experience. And the processes were very long. I had to input the CV and then long forms, and then like the forms, I had to repeat everything that was in the CV, and no news from the recruiters. And I really wanted to know what happened, to make some real choice in my life, So yeah, I thought, like, why not like a robot that would like instantly answer questions? Where am I in the process? When will I be contacted again? What's the process after the job offer in terms of onboarding? Are the job offers negotiable? And like to have immediate responses. So and that's actually
don't recall when we're looking for a job.
Yeah.
You mentioned obviously in the 10 years you've been working or you've been part of the industry, why have we got a lack of transparency, a lack of personalization, a lack of interaction with candidates? Why is that?
Excellent question.
Well, I think it's everybody. I mean, time is. I think as a human being and being in TA, you have so much do you need to prioritize, and I think with the help of AI, you can really free the time to avoid doing like a menial task and really start having meaningful work. And I think it's the tool is the reason why if like recruiters have a 24/7 sidekick that can answer all the frequently asked questions, do the data entry, nudge the people in the right process to the right jobs in a personalized way, and then the recruiter, in terms of role and responsibility, becomes like really the role of an advisor, both to the candidates, to the employees, and the hiring managers. So I think there is a moment right now, thanks to these new tools of artificial intelligence, that the TA people are going to be the role will be evolve into a more advisory role than what it is right now.
Interesting, isn't it? Because I was chatting to someone about this the other day. I think time is an excellent both excuse, isn't it, and also like reason and purpose for the lack of comms time that we spend with candidates, giving them feedback. I think the other bit is it's hard. It's hard to say no to somebody, isn't it? Like we aren't always super clear on it's 100% no, and we don't want to say it until we 100% know it's a no. Otherwise, we might need that person in a pipeline, right? And I really do believe that is where AI is that co-pilot. I know that word's being used a hell of a lot since Microsoft's launch of it. But like as a co-pilot, I really do see that time will become more excuse because we have such a powerful ally to allow us to personalize our messages, to respond to folks, like you said, right? Like Eva is doing here, is like getting in and actually giving people real-time feedback on where they're at and what they're up to, where they're at in the process, or I don't know, some misunderstandings about the job description. Super fascinating, isn't it? Where AI can take us.
Yeah, I was going to say, you look at the intake call. I think it was like Ben raised a good point about like FAQs for candidates. Imagine the intake calls recorded. I know that people like Messaview and Own It do that they record it. But you're having a look at and using that information, and then potentially, I don't know if they can do with AI chat that the candidates can ask questions, and they can just use some of that information that can draw out from that intake call from the kickoff meeting with the recruiter, just to sort of ask, obviously you have to hold off certain details you probably don't want shared around sort of salary details, or potentially something quite private in terms of like individual candidates identified, but you can just show a proportion of that, and that can be then in the FAQs for candidates, so they can get more information out from that.
That actually takes us on to quite an interesting question about AI, Ben, which we've discussed a few times on the show, is kind of whose responsibility is it when AI is delivering information? Who is responsible? In your opinion?
Who is responsible for delivering the accurate information?
Oh, sorry. Who's responsible for what? Yes, what gets delivered? Sorry. So if the AI is delivering something from an intake call that I had, and I don't know, I made a joke about something stupid about the process, that gets delivered to a candidate. Who's responsible for that? It's like we're exposed if it's listening to everything. So like,
well, look, that's a very, very important question, and it touches a lot of in how to implement what are the best practices. Yeah, at the heart, what are the best practices to leverage AI, either in the conversational use case, or in a matching use case, or in a job description generation use case, and so on. I mean, we focus on the conversational part at Eva, also on the matching part. Now, to answer your question, the person responsible is the person who is training the AI. So it's like a baby or like a child, you know. If like at school he starts to swear and say bad S, as you say, Chris. Well, it's like the responsibility of the parent, you know, because he has heard his father or mother like swearing somehow, yeah. So the person responsible is the person who is ingesting the knowledge inside the AI. And now they are, you cannot just throw all the recruiters' notes intakes and interviews feedback that are internal notes like that in the AI. You need to structure a little bit the corpus, and in Eva, in the AI bot settings, you can do just that. You need to put the context, you know, to tell the AI, okay, if the candidate or employee is in a certain workflow stage, or if he has preliminary asked this type of question, then you need to take your information from this particular corpus of content, and you can answer this way. So the person who is training is responsible to the what the AI says.
Interesting.
Yeah.
We typically, when we say that like that, sorry to push on it a little bit, my understanding of AI is not going to be anywhere near yours. So who typically in the TA org, maybe this isn't directly in Eva. Again, I'm not saying I want to hold you guys responsible, but as an example, with the you're saying inside Eva, I can control which part of information is being used at each stage. Who typically builds that in platform? Would it be me as an IC? Would it be Darren as a head of? Where would who has the controls?
It's well, first of all, it's a collegial effort, but at the end of the day, there is like the AI macro strategy. Then there is who is going to select the corpus of content, who is going to structure this corpus of content for an AI ingestible structure, and then there is the quality testers. And then when you put in production your first AI version, then you need to keep on monitoring. How? Well, by having like a thumbs up, thumbs down at the end of each conversation, so you can spot what's going wrong. And as you know now, the AI are powered by large language models. So actually, we have our large language model inside Eva.ai, and these large language models sometimes can hallucinate. So that's funny. This
a
is
glitch in the matrix.
Yeah. The AI and the AI is hallucinating, so it's going to say something completely nonsense. And then every week, months, quarter, we need to disambiguate those hallucinations to make it like more precise and teach the AI to be better and more accurate. So it's an ongoing process, but it's a collegial project management, project tech process, if I may say. So the responsibility is on the vendor as well.
Relies on the group.
The client. Yeah, it's on the group. Yeah.
What excites you about the AI space in the TA tech market?
Well, GPT is really what excites me today. It's so powerful. we have actually plugged Eva.ai on OpenAI GPT. I don't know if you heard, but now there will be like a marketplace of GPT applications.
I saw, yeah.
So that's really fascinate me, and the reason why this large language model is like so powerful that we actually now using it as it's in beta test now. So actually, if like you want to try it, just like send me an email or like talk about that. But imagine telling Eva, so powered by GPT, hi Eva, I need you to surface all the candidates that have HR business partner in their job titles, in their CV, that work for company X and company Y, specifically in that type of industry, and that speaks English and either German or French. And as an option, please, the candidate should not want a salary more than 150K per year. They should have a strong interpersonal skills and should have a visa for Schengen in Europe. And that's what we are sending to GPT. And GPT is sending a query inside our data lake, and boom, it surfaces on Eva all the people that are matching this request. So I find that super fascinating. Again, it's in beta test. It does the job, but it sometimes hallucinates. And this is really like back in the day, the idea of like having a sidekick that can like surface like the people you want at a prompt.
So it's like effectively having a really good. I assume we've all at some point been at an agency. I remember I had a human AI who used to work in our team who basically just ran the database. And this person was so good at making sure like her notes were unreal, her tagging of the system was unbelievable. So if we ever, because a big thing was recall. If she cannot recall at speed, she's going to lose money, or lose opportunities to fill jobs, right? So she made this system that was super perfect for her, and she was unbelievable. Like like you say, she could hear me on the phone, then recall 6 candidates straight away from the system that was working. But it's now giving us all the capability to do that without needing a human being, which again is unbelievably powerful.
You raised a good point there, because that individual there is indexing a lot of that information, right? In order to recall. So it's great in terms of talking about the query, and I'm hoping the results will come back. But how do you deal with the indexing of that information in your system in the first place, to know that someone's got English and French, and they've actually said that they're looking for less than £150,000? Is that piece? How do we manage that? Because right now, if you look at on the agency side and you look at enterprise clients as well, and other clients who use ATSs and CRMs,
every recruitment org.
Let's go with every recruitment org. Yeah, every recruitment org not great at putting notes in the system, not great at tracking information, not great at putting who's at what different stage as well on the platform. It's prone to human error, that part. How do you solve that problem?
Well, the Eva as a conversational AI, remember, is engaging and nurturing those candidates and employees. So the AI is already refreshing the index of your database on a continuous basis. It will collect the data that are missing, refresh the data that are old, answering the questions from the candidates, and ask the question that recruiters and hiring managers want out of the candidates before the interview. So this is solved by the conversational AI. So if you combine the power of the conversational AI and the matching AI, and then the predictions, I mean, it's like the Rolls Royce of a recruiting system.
Moving.
Now, I want to add something. I want to add something, because obviously from a TA perspective, it's magic, but from a TM perspective as well, it's magic. We know that in HRIS, the data are old, are not comprehensive. People are not putting their so the Eva from an employee engagement perspective also is asking the career aspiration of the employees, whether they want to prefer to work hybrid or remote or go back to the office. Eva also is asking about so a kind of 360-degree assessment of employees. So self-evaluation, managers' evaluation, and colleagues' evaluation, and all this data are indexed.
And are we plugged into the an Eva platform? Is it sitting inside our systems, or is it open on the web? Like I'm asking it questions, and it's going on to LinkedIn and finding people to chat levels.
Yeah, I mean it's imagine a portal welcoming talent, whether candidates, employees, and having a messenger like WhatsApp experience where Eva is asking question and answering question, and it's branded to the staffing firm or large enterprise I don't say large, but as long as you have a lot of candidates, you can benefit.
So in theory,
you're in that portal. You're on the Eva portal, and it's and you got the data in there, you got the talent in there, you got the candidates in there, you got the hiring managers, everything in there in one place,
and the conversations and you're having with
correct.
Wow,
as simple as that.
One question I wanted to talk about was workforce planning.
Yes,
Ben. Now it's one of the biggest challenges that we have as an industry.
Yes. So that's our one module. Yeah, go on. Tell me.
So one of the big challenges is first of all, what's your views on workforce planning, or the problems of workforce planning within TA?
So, I mean, from the experience we got in the last almost 4 years working for a large organization. So let's say, I mean, the client that we are the proudest is obviously the United Nations. For the UNDP, we started as a ATS automation of their contingency workforce in 120 countries. So that was our first mission. Was two things: vetting new experts that wanted to join the roster, and then once they were vetted, deploying them internationally when they were crisis or a long-term mission for developing the population. So imagine now at a click of a button, when there was the earthquake in Syria and Turkey, thanks to Eva, the UN could surface all the people that were relevant, that were in the region, that had the right skills and that were available, and then pipelining them into a deployment workflow. So in terms of workforce,
at a click of a button,
almost at a click of a button, yes, exactly, maybe 2 buttons.
Amazing.
Yeah. So the idea, so the idea in terms of workforce planning automation, the problem is, how do we keep fresh the profiles of talent to deploy them into jobs and missions? So what you need to do, you need to you need to calculate supply of skills and demand of skills continuously. And once the supply and when the AI see that the supply is less than the demand, it needs to start either finding skills via an internal mobility or via sourcing and recruiting externally. So the problem is like to keep that fresh, live, and it needs to be in time for the talent acquisition strategy perspective. It needs to be done all the time and at the right time, and it needs to be proactive from a talent management perspective. So what we are building right now is all these algorithms that would keep the data fresh, analyze the trends and gaps in the workforce, and automate talent acquisition and talent management strategies in time and in a proactive fashion. So this is in building, but it's fascinating and it's feasible.
Where you have an oversupply of candidates in the market, oversupply of talent, your time to fill within the company, within you now you must have completely reduced that. That's point number one. And then the point number two is when a hiring manager is looking to recruit, right from the beginning, you must be able to provide that kind of data that gives you the idea of this is where you've got the skills and supply of the candidates, and you can also highlight in terms of how difficult the role is going to be filled. So you can provide that data if you wanted to. Is that correct?
So to get job market intelligence data and understanding whether it's difficult internally or externally. Internally, yes, we can do that, obviously, because we have the internal data. Now, externally, we need to source information from partners to understand whether they are like job market intelligence data, and we can plug that into the AI as well. That's actually the idea.
Wow, you're like an octopus AI, aren't you? You've literally covered it like every angle here, Ben. Like, geez, how big's the team?
So we are a very agile team. We are 20.
Like it. Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez, you're an octopus with 20 arms. 20 unbelievable people behind Eva here. You must have,
you forget about 20 AI co-pilots with them as well. So you're 40, Ben.
Correct.
So we're coming up to time. There's a couple of questions, Ben, that me and Darren always like to get out on the show. First up, what's coming up next for Eva? Where are you guys heading? Because we're a podcast for TA leaders who want to get a lay of the land, and of course, these we're a period in time. I'm sure Eva's going to evolve. What's next?
Well, the future is now. So what's next? This is the total workforce planning automation that leverage conversational AI and predictive analytics and RPA. So it's gonna take at least like 12 months to reach this level of autonomy.
Exciting.
So yeah.
Actually, really exciting.
Yeah. Super excited. I mean, I'd love to stay close. Workforce planning, I really do think, is one of the most complex things about the HR and TA world, and it's normally a sticky subject, a non-moving object, right? It's like it's done and then it's thrown out the window super quickly. Maybe not in an org like yours, Darren, of course, but for my customers, they often go, we're only going to hire 20 people, and then a weekend we're hiring 1,000. So it often gets thrown out the window pretty quickly, but
happens as well.
Yeah. So having AI built in that's able to constantly predict, analyze, report against, I can imagine it's going to be like a super powerful tool for folks that are in it. Our final question that we like to ask our guests is, in the landscape at the moment, what other tools are you seeing that are really impressing you?
I like the tools around speech to text and voice analysis. I think this is where it goes, because right now we are talking about clicks, fingertips, and keyboards, right? The speech to text and text to speech and the analysis of the voice of the user will be key, and I think it will impact both TA and TM. Not right now because it's at its infancy, but Eva has a partner in the voice analytics space, and I think it's very interesting.
Is there anyone in particular, any companies you've seen on that speech to text that you're interested in?
VoiceSense. It's called VoiceSense. They have a neural network that analyzes the voice of. So they started in healthcare. Now they are actually applying their neural network and voice analysis to candidates, also clients from insurers, and also in the insurance and and in the also, I think,
what was that name again, Ben?
And so on.
VoiceSense.
VoiceSense. Yeah.
Why voice to text? Why that area that you're interested in?
Well, imagine that you need to have data on whether the person is an introvert, an extrovert, some psychobehavioral data. So I think that could complement existing psychobehavioral assessment that exists with, MCQ forms and so on. I think the voice really tells something about the personality. So if, for example, you are hiring for in a sales team and you want somebody in a certain caliber, the voice analysis will give you a lot of data that can be derived from the interviews, what was said during the interview, the words also used during the interview can be via speech to text analyzed then semantically, and the flow, the tone of voice. The tone of voice can really tell some key psychobehavioral data points. And if you add that into the matching algorithm, I think it will make sense if you need to hire, 1,000 salesperson SDRs in the next year. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really interesting. We have to get them on the show, Chris.
Yeah.
I'm going to introduce to the CEO.
Thank you. Ben, thank you so much for spending some time with us. We have had absolute reams of fun, and I'm in awe of what you're achieving with Eva. Unbelievable. How can folks, or what's the best way for folks to get in touch?
Yeah, so www.eva.ai. Click on book a meeting. Otherwise, feel free to send me an email. Very easy. Ben@eva.ai. Ben@eva.ai.
Awesome. We'll put that stuff, of course, in the show notes underneath in the YouTube and Spotify and Apple podcast, which we're now launched on as well.
Sure.
For folks to reach out to you, Ben, if they've got any questions. That's it for this week's show. Don't forget to check out the demo, which will be in feed, or if you're listening to this, jump over to YouTube again. We'll pop that in the show notes. Thanks so much for joining us, Ben. It's been
very much.
Super fun.
Pleasure. Thank you, Darren. Thank you, Chris. Have a good one.